This is Access Chapter 2, movie number 3. I'm on page 109 of our textbook. In the prior movie, we looked at how to import data in a number of different ways. And now we're going to add data using Datasheet View. Remember, this is Datasheet View where you actually see the records. Design View is where you see the field names. All right, so I'm going to click on you can do it this way here, this new blank record. It's going to take us right down here. I'm going to type a 62, hit my tab key, and then start typing Gupta Sanjay 3544 Cornice Boulevard. Tab. I'm tabbing between each of these. Las Cruz, New Mexico 88001 505 555 7789. Tab. And I want to draw your attention before I hit tab again. This record that I just put in here has not been written to the file yet because it still has that pencil. If I hit the tab key, it moves off of that record and it saves that record to the file, to the table. It will not be lost, okay? So if we, so you know that that has changed. All right, so the next thing I want to do is delete. Deleting cannot be undone in Access, so you just want to make sure I don't normally delete records, but okay, so we want to do this Kate Neidhart, participant ID 11. So to select that row, I go to the row selector, which is this gray box to the left of the record. I get the arrow key that's pointing to the right, click. It selects the entire row, hence the row selector. And then there's a lot of different ways. You could hit delete on your keyboard. You could do delete up here. You can right click, delete record. Pick one of those. You are about to delete one record. You cannot undo this. Yes, I do want to delete it, and she is now gone. Okay, so that is deleting a record. Remember, records are all of the related pieces of information about one person, place, or thing. It goes as a row. Fields or attributes are the columns, and that's a single identifying piece of information, smallest meaningful. So we're going to look at how we delete a field from a table. So this corporate phone number, I decided that I really don't want that. So once again, just like I did here, I'm going to select the field. I'm going to come up here to the name. Over here it's a box, but here it actually has the field name. I get the black down arrow. I click. It selects the entire column. Corporate phone number. On the Home tab, I'm just going to click on the word delete. You permanently delete the selected fields and all the data in it. You cannot undo this. Yes, I want to do that. So now that field is gone. If I go over to Design View, I could have also deleted it here, but notice it's gone from Design because it's no longer part of the table. I'm going to go ahead and close the participant table, and then we're going to talk a little bit about tables and keys. A primary key is a field that uniquely identifies the record. It can be any data type, but it should be a field that doesn't change. And so really there's four things that you want to look at when you're determining a field. That it's unique, that it does not change, that the field is never null, meaning that there is information in that field for every record. You cannot have a null primary key field. And that it's the smallest combination of fields to make that key unique. Okay, so those four things. Let me say them again. It is unique, not changing, not null, and smallest configuration of fields or a field to make the primary key. So let's go ahead and take a look at page 113. It talks about the different data types. So the big ones are short text, number, auto number. So short text is any information. You can have it from 1 to 255 characters as a short text. It can have letters, numbers, special characters, blanks. Anything can be in short text. So first name, last name, social security number, phone number, all of those are text, short text. And you give a short text a specific size. Last name, 25 characters. Social security number, so that would be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 11. Zip code, 5, or 5 plus 4 plus the character, so 10. Long text is what's called a variable length field, and I'm going to go into that more later. A number, numeric data. So that is something that has a numeric value. So for example, social security number does not have a numeric value. It's made up of all numbers. The characters are numbers, but it's not a numeric value. Zip code. My zip code's 44614. It's not 44,614. If I had a number line across the room, I'm not going to my zip code on that number line. It's not holding a numeric place on the number line. It's just something made up of the characters that are numbers. So you want to really understand that. And then when you put something as a number, there's really two major things you need to think about. Is this an integer or is this a decimal? So in other words, an integer would be whole numbers. You would have no decimal positions. Or does this need to have decimals on it? So those are two things you want to think about with numbers. You have date, time, currency. Auto number is the other one. Auto number is a numeric field that the system will generate the number for you, and it's just the next number, right? 1, 2, 3. It'll just pick the absolute next number on it. So if you look on 114, it talks about numeric field sizes, and so that's kind of what I was alluding to. So there's byte, integer, long integer. Those are all whole numbers. You cannot put decimals. And whether you use, the data type is always numeric. These are formats. So I have a number field that's formatted as an integer. I have a number field that's formatted with single precision. So the first three on this chart on page 114 are whole numbers, no decimals. Single, double, and decimal are numbers that have decimal places. And the difference between single, double, and decimal is at what point does that decimal carry out to. Decimal is 10 to the 27th. I mean, that is a extremely large or extremely small number, right? Double is to 10 to the 308. So once again, lots of precision to that. Single is to the 10 to the 38, which is probably good enough for any business application. So I normally use single. When I used to work at Prudential and we did insurance rate packages, we would oftentimes use double because the multipliers for some of these would be very small numbers. So we wanted a more precise calculation. But I would think for most business applications, single would be fine. All right, so if we look at 115, we're actually going to create a table in Design View. So the first thing we need to do is go to this Create tab, and then you can see that it's broken into Table, Queries, Forms, and Reports. Remember, that's our big 4 objects. So we're going to create a table in Design View. It brings up this blank screen, which is very similar to what we saw in this participant, only the participant had information, right? So we are going to start putting in new fields or buckets that are going to hold our values, hold our numbers. So company name. Notice I did not put a space between it. I do not want you to put blanks between field name. A single field name should not have space. This is going to be short text, and we're going to say name of company as the description. And then I'm going to come down to the properties, and I'm going to change this 255, which is the default for short text, to 50. All right, I am going to stop so you don't have to see me typing this. I'm going to come back with the next movie. So go ahead and finish typing what's on page 116.